Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Tea with C. Today we're going to talk about the sixth house and how, in my opinion, this is the house that holds our truest and dearest boundaries and is also the hint to how to enhance and strengthen our boundaries when we feel that they're not being adhered to. Welcome to today's episode of Tea with C. Except today we're drinking a mimosa because C's done had enough. First of all, there was supposed to be a November divination that did not happen. There were supposed to be 2 YouTube videos uploaded. I didn't even finish uploading my relaunch to YouTube because life happened. So obviously, I don't have many followers here, but I did end up getting really sick. And then I had food poisoning right after, and the food poisoning is still, I'm still recovering from it, y'all. It's so bad. So yeah, I've got my glass here. And I got my mimosa earlier. And we will chat, because I am fed up. If you are new here, I'm C. I am the astrostylist, the owner of Astrology, and I'm here to help guide you to understand the beauty of the physical and the metaphysical by mixing them together and creating the most beautiful, adorned life you can. Welcome to the atelier. Now that the necessities and niceness are out of the way, what is wrong with people, y'all? What is wrong with people? And y'all know I'm a Virgo, okay? You know I'm a Virgo. I'm already picky, right? I'm already irritated. I'm already antsy. I'm just waiting to boop, 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 boop. At least that's what y'all think we do. However, some people are just not right, y'all. They're not right. They're not right. We gotta crack it open. We gotta crack it open. And I hope it's a twist top because I will cry if it's not. And yes, we're sitting in front of my vanity because these are the new Tea with C. This is a new Tea with C setup. I like it. We'll have C's Cozy Corner as well, but the new Tea with C setup is very tea. So twist, pop, and reseal. That's my kind of bottle. Cheers, y'all. Let's see if it's good. I've never tried this before, and I was just feeling it because I was gonna make me a cute little dinner tomorrow, you know? Cute. Okay. Cheers. I hope y'all got your drinks. You can have tea, you can have water, whatever you want. But I hope you got something, child, because we're about to get into this. It's about to irritate me. So, I actually don't have a script for this video. I decided in the midst of this, I'm gonna make a video. I was recording TikToks, y'all. And then something made me mad, and it just led me down a path of irritation because I'm a 6th house moon. And the littlest things do ruin my day. They do. I can admit it. They ruin my day. That's how sensitive the moon is. It's a little strong. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little strong. That's okay. So let's talk about it, right? The 6th house and boundaries. Now, a lot of people don't like talking about the sixth house. I get it. It's not cute. It's not fun. It's not quirky. You can't, oh my God. Well, actually, the sixth house is very realistic. It's very mundane. It's day to day. It's stuff you can't get out of. It's stuff you can't get around. It's doctor's appointments. It's illnesses. It's having to wash the dishes every day. Having to find something to eat every day. Having to pick out something to wear every day. Just literally the like ins and outs of being a human. And there's nothing to sugarcoat about that, right? So I wouldn't try to, but yeah, I want to talk about boundaries specifically. So with boundaries, I think the sixth house is really aligned with them, and why we set boundaries, because it comes from the everyday things that we've had to go through. So if you've been through intense traumas, it may be harder. If you have something like a sensitive planet like the moon here, it can feel like you're constantly having to change your boundaries because of the differences in your surroundings and the differences in your everyday, and constantly reanalyze your boundaries as well. Say you have something like Libra on the sixth house. It may be something like you are constantly questioning if your boundaries that you put in place are they valid, but are they okay, because they affect other people too. But what about you, right? But other people, but what about this person and this person in third grade that I like upset? Like I have to enforce this boundary because now do you see what I mean? So I would say take whatever sign is ruling your sixth house and analyze the planet that is ruling it to set boundaries. For example, if you have Sagittarius ruling your sixth house, that means Jupiter is the ideas around what boundaries you would like to set. Maybe it's no excessive spending on certain things, and not that I would say that that's necessary for Sagittarius, but maybe you have Jupiter in the third, right? So maybe like noises could be an issue for you, or like people constantly questioning your knowledge. Like maybe as a Mercurial, I really get irritated by this, and I have Sun conjunct Mercury, so please don't test me, y'all. When somebody insults my intelligence, that is a boundary. I like, and once you're trying to call me stupid, ignorant, whatever, about a topic that I know, and you don't know, baby, the conversation is over. That's my boundary. So it could be like in public settings too, like classrooms or public speaking or things like that, that your boundaries would be related to things like that. Let's say you have a planet in the sixth house. Maybe you have Mars in the sixth house. Maybe you're really good at enforcing your boundaries, because Mars would do well in enforcing of boundaries compared to like a planet like the moon or even Mercury. Oh, I said it, but there's a reason I said Mercury. Mars may be somebody who is really good at enforcing boundaries and would be considered strict, right? But that's not a bad thing when it comes to your boundaries. The only thing is you cannot judge how other people react to your boundaries. So I think the other side of the sixth house is that 12th house subconscious of, okay, so if this boundary is enforced and they do not adhere to it, what do we do next, right? So look into that opposite house. So say you have Mars in the sixth house, in Cancer, right? And Mars doesn't sit the best in Cancer. However, you can look to that Capricorn 12th house and see, okay, so maybe I'm not that great in enforcing this boundary. What can I do to either even that energy out, or to not get so influenced or swayed by that? Because even when you have, say, Cancer Mars in the sixth house, you have the moon ruling the sixth house, which is a sensitive planet. So it's a little bit harder, even though you have that Martian balance, it's a little bit harder to kind of get out of that, like, oh no, but like it's it's, you know, that energy where the moon is in the 6th house. And if you have that placement or you have that energy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So what do we do from here, right? You know you have this placement in the 6th house. How do I enforce this boundary? See? Well, I'm not going to tell you how. That's for you to figure out. I think we're going to incorporate a little astral homework. So go in your chart and go get your chart from astro.com, okay? I don't want to see any cafe astrology charts. I don't want to see any co-star charts anymore. We're going to go and see what planet is ruling your 6th house. And then the opposite is going to be the planet that's ruling your 12th house. And then we're going to see what planets, where that planet is placed. So for example, like I said, if you have Venus ruling the 6th house, which is actually not as bad as everybody makes it, that means you have Mars ruling the 12th house, right? So lean into that Martian energy to figure out how to react to people not adhering to your boundaries. For example, I have the moon in the 6th. I have Venus ruling my 12th house. And I have Venus in the 3rd. So a lot of my boundaries are around communication. I would let a lot of things go if people would just communicate. But they don't. That is the world's biggest flaw. They do not communicate. I think communication and having my time wasted are the two biggest boundaries I have. Like, don't waste my I don't know if I can cuss on here, y'all, sorry. But don't waste my time. And don't, like, if you ask me to do something, then it's different than just doing it. And I think this is the biggest one for me, is inconsideration. People do not consider others when they make mistake or take action. And it's a good and a bad thing, because one, I over consider other people because it's in the 6th house, right? I'm worried about the daily life, including everybody around me. However, people are super inconsiderate. They do not care about others in the slightest when they make a lot of decisions. And that would be fine if the decisions didn't affect other people, right? So like, for example, if I go, we live together, and I go and I take your favorite glass and I dirty it and leave it in the sink for 4 days. That's inconsiderate, because what if you wanted to use your glass? Now you have to clean up after me because you use my stuff, right? Or I use your stuff, right? And that's inconsiderate. Stuff like that really is like my boundary. I hate seeing inconsiderate. Mercury retrograde is going to have to see me, because why did it not record half of my video? It's just me going click, click, 20% battery, click. This is why I have this. This is why I have this. Who knows? I might drink the whole bottle tonight. Because what? So I really just wanted to capture the part where I say that I hope it poses a question to look into the planet that rules your 6th house. Is it Venus? Is it Mars? Is it Jupiter? Is it Saturn? Where you might have it in the 8th house and you're afraid of catching, what is the word they use now? Spiritual psychosis. Not that it's not a real thing, because it is, but people overuse it. Or you're afraid of quote unquote monitoring spirits. Your boundaries could be around things like spirituality, your money, the way you receive money, the way you get things, the way you're honored, debts and things like that. Like, it may not be so cut and dry. Saturn in the 6th, I do believe, is pretty good in enforcing boundaries, depending on what sign it is and depending on what else is there. But I would say that that is a good placement for enforcing boundaries. Same with Mars. Either way, begs the question, what is important to you? The sign that the planet ruling your sixth house sits in is what you're going to look at to enforce a boundary, what you're going to look at to create your boundaries, enhance your boundaries, expand your boundaries, right? It's going to record this in one go and then break it up because Mercury is not playing with me. I don't know what's going on with my clicker, but every time I click it, it wasn't recording the full video. So I told y'all I might drink the whole damn bottle. Now, we're going to use the sign that is on your 12th house to engage the reaction of somebody not meeting that boundary, because that's an opposing sign, right? The opposing house, the opposing energy, the opposite of the axis. House in the planet that rules the 12th house to understand that. And I guess I should use myself as an example, but like I said, for example, if you have Saturn ruling that sixth house, right, and you have Saturn in the 8th, one thing you may be afraid of is spiritual psychosis or familial genetic diseases and what that can mean for you, right? So maybe your boundaries of maybe I don't like to eat out so much, or maybe I don't trust everybody who cooks a meal, or I don't wear certain things because my lineage is not cool with that, right? So understanding truly where the placement is really what is going to enhance the boundary. It's going to set the boundary in stone and say, this is what I said, this is how I feel, and that's it. Now, what I went on a tangent on in my original video was actually Libra moons. And I want to say to Libra moons, we are here to support you. But also take that time for yourself and take that time for yourself to understand yourself so that you know that it is okay for you to set boundaries that include nobody else. You're allowed to feel a way about something without anybody else's input or impact on it, right? And how you react to that is also okay. Even if it hurts somebody's feelings, it is okay. All right? So I pegged the question, what planet is on your sixth house? What planet is ruling your sixth house? And what boundaries have you set for yourself that you feel are most impactful in your day-to-day life? Do you think you need to enhance that boundary? Has it not worked and you need to go a little bit further? Or maybe you're fine with it and it's something that's worked for you, and that's really, really great as well. But I think the real deal thing here is just being accepting of the fact that yes, we have boundaries. Everybody has a boundary. How we react to others' boundaries is up to us, and how they react to our reaction is up to them. It's up to that 12th house. So make sure you're understanding how your reaction to things may be and how you cannot control others' reactions to your boundaries, but remember that your boundary is important, okay? Other than that, pour a drink, honey, because why was recording this so hard? This is supposed to be a cute little short video, cute little tea with C. As you can see, Mercury didn't interfere, your child. But like I said, my boundary as a sixth houser is I'm really, 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 really not about people touching my personal belongings without asking. What is your boundary? What is the planet on the sixth house? And what sign is it? And where does that sit in your chart? Tell me your boundaries. Tell me how it felt to express your boundaries when you got there, or tell me if there's an issue with people honoring the boundary and maybe we need to enhance that. I want to know. I want to discuss. I'm never here to just talk at you guys. I want you to know this. I'm always here for discussion. So if you're unsure and you're like, you know what, this kind of sounds like BS, tag your favorite astrologer. I would love to discuss with them too. I'm always here for dissection and understanding. So with that being said, stay beautiful, stay blessed. I love you. Bye.